Good morning. Today's topic is population inversion. So, in the previous classes, we came to know that the three principles of the laser: one is absorption, spontaneous emission, and stimulated emission. Now, the fourth principle of a laser. Now, let us focus on the energy level systems. We are considering two energy levels, where E1 be the energy level of the ground state and E2 be the energy level of the excited state. So, I already said the number of atoms or particles before absorption will be going to be stay in a ground state, but when we incident a photon of energy to the ground state, it starts excited process and it starts its movement towards the excited state. So let N1 be the population, okay, N1 be the population in the ground state and N2 be the population in the excited state. What is the population here? The number of atoms or the number of particles. Okay, the number of atoms or the particles. Here it is the population of the laser system. So we have two energy levels. One is ground state with the population N1 and excited state with the population N2. Suppose if we incident a photon of energy to the ground state, then its state movement towards the excited state and the atom will be stays protected to the power of -8 seconds in the excited state. Okay, so kindly remember the population will be high in the ground state until we incident a photon of energy. Until we incident the energy. So the population will be higher in the ground state, that is N1 is greater than N2. Okay, N1 is greater than N2. What it shows? The population in the ground state is higher than the population in the excited state. But what our definition is? Population inversion. Okay, population inversion. So we have to make the population inverse. That is, we have to make the number of atoms more in the excited state than the ground state. Okay, you got the point. What is the population inversion means? Population should be inverse to achieve the principle of laser. Already we know that N1 is greater than N2. That is, the number of atoms staying in the ground state will be more than the atoms staying in the excited state. But to work on the principle of a laser, the population should be inverse. Okay, that we have to make the population in the ground state more than the population in the excited state. So, what is the population inversion? The process of making, okay, the process of making the population higher than the ground state. Okay, the process of making population of the higher energy state than the ground state. So then we can achieve a condition of N2 greater than N1. Once again I am repeating, always the population will be higher in the ground state rather than the excited state. But to achieve the population inversion, okay, to achieve the population inversion, what we have to make? We have to make the population in the excited state more than the ground state. That is N2 greater than N1. This condition is known as population inversion. The process of making population in the excited state is more than the or greater than the population in the ground state. So this is known as ground state. But in this diagram, this is the diagram of two-level laser system. Only two energy levels we have used. So in two-level laser system, in two energy levels, we can't achieve the population inversion. Okay, we can't achieve the population inversion. So what we needed? We need one more energy level. One more energy level system. So two-level laser system is failure to achieve the population inversion. You should know that laser works depends upon the four factors. One is absorption, stimulated emission, spontaneous emission, and population inversion. Okay, but the population inversion is failed to achieve in the two-level laser system. So two-level laser system is not possible to achieve the population inversion. So by using one more level laser system. Okay, so let us consider 3-level laser systems. So what is a metastable state? Metastable state is nothing but, okay, metastable state is nothing but, it is also an excited state, but the lifetime an atom will be 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds. Okay, 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds. So little bit higher than the other excited states. Okay, in the excited state, the atom lifetime is 10 to the power of minus 8 seconds. But the metastable state is also an excited state with the timing of 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds as the lifetime of an atom. Okay, now the population inversion is achieved by using the metastable state. So kindly focus, what is a metastable state? The excited state which have the lifetime of 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds of an atom, or otherwise we can say that the excited state which is used to achieve the population inversion is known as metastable state. So here we are considering 3 energy level systems, that is E1, E2 and E3. So E1 be the ground state, okay, E1 be the ground state and E2 be the metastable state and E3 be the excited state. So if we incident a kind of energy to the ground state, then the molecules or atoms or the particles move towards the excited state. So it reaches to the excited state E3. So let N1 be the population in excited state or ground state, and N2 be the population in excited state E2, and N3 be the population in the excited state E3. Okay, now if we are incidenting a photon of energy, we are giving an energy to the ground state, then the atoms move towards the excited state. Okay, after staying 10 to the power of minus 8 seconds in the excited state, by releasing a single photon of energy, it moves to the another excited state known as E2. So it is also an excited state, but what the condition? The lifetime an atom will be 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds, which is comparatively more than the other excited states. Okay, here all the atoms moves from the ground state to the excited state E3. Then by a spontaneous emission, it moves towards the E2 energy level. So in E2 energy system, that is the metastable state, the atom is going to stay for the 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds. So now the time of an atom, the lifetime of an atom will be more than the other excited states. Okay, now all the molecules move towards the N3 and again move towards the N2. Almost the ground state will be empty. So now we can achieve N2 is greater than N1. Understand the key point? We are incidenting energy, then the atoms are moving towards the excited state, okay, excited state. By spontaneous emission, by releasing single photon of energy, it moves towards the lower energy state, okay. In this excited state, the atom is going to stay for 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds, little bit higher than the other excited states. So almost all the ground state molecules move towards the excited state. Now the ground state will be empty, okay. Now the ground state will be empty. Again, from the excited state, all the molecules are going to reach to the metastable state. What happens? Almostly the ground state will be empty and the molecules from the excited state are moving towards the metastable state. So assume the condition, the ground state is going to be null and all the excited particles or all the excited atoms will be going to be resides in the metastable state. So then we can achieve the condition of N2 greater than N1. That is, the number of atoms in the energy level E2 is greater than the number of atoms in the energy level E1. This is known as metastable state, and by reaching the atoms towards energy state E2 by stimulating emission by releasing 2 photons of energy, all the atoms again reaches to the ground state. So this is the condition of metastable state. Now move to the next topic, optical pumping. What is the pumping? Generally, what is pumping? The process of pump an electron or atom or a particle from a lower energy state to the higher energy state. Okay, pumping, the sending of an atom from a lower energy state to the higher energy state is known as pumping. So what is the optical pumping? If we give an optical energy, okay, what is an optics? It's light. If we give a light energy to a ground state, then it starts absorbing, the light energy will be absorbed by the atoms which stay in the ground state. Then the atoms in the ground state move towards the excited state. So what is the pumping? Process of sending an atom or molecule or particle from a lower energy state to the higher energy state to pump an electron. Okay, what is an optical pumping? If we incident a light energy on the ground state, then that optical energy will be going to be absorbed by all the atoms in the ground state. Then it moves to the excited state. This is known as optical pumping. So in pumping, there are four types of processes. One is optical pumping, next chemical pumping, and electrical and thermal pumping. If we give a light energy to the ground state, then that process is known as optical pumping. Suppose we give a chemical energy, okay, like the chemical gases to the ground state to excite an atom. So then that process, that pumping is known as chemical pumping. Next, electrical energy. If we give an electrical energy to the ground state, then by absorbing that electrical energy, the atom moves towards the excited state. It excites, it starts excitation by absorbing the electrical energy. Then that process is known as electrical pumping. And finally, thermal pumping. What is a thermal? Heat. Suppose if we introduce the heat energy, if we supply the heat energy to the ground state, E1, then by absorbing the heat energy, given heat energy by an atom in the ground state, it starts excited and it moves towards the excited state, E2. Then that process is known as thermal pumping. So kindly observe, what is the pumping? Pumping is the process of sending an electron from a lower energy state to the higher energy state. If we give optical energy, then that pumping process is known as optical pumping. And next, if we give chemical energies as an incident energy to the ground state, then it is known as chemical pumping. And electrical energy, if we give electrical energy, that process is known as electrical pumping. And if we use heat energy as our incident energy to the ground state, then that process is known as thermal pumping. So by today we completed the working principle of a laser.